how the week has been in camp leading up to this game?
Oh, really good week. It's good trip up here, great weather conditions, great training conditions. We dropped the first game in the championship and really determined to go into this one. What's always going to be a special occasion in Ellis Park. So, plenty of motivation, but we're a group that's taken the lessons and working hard on the growth part of our game. And again, it's been a solid week of prep so far.
Has it been easy enough to put aside the outside noise and I suppose the pressure that's on this group at the moment?
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, you just got to look at the facts. Is that we're going into a competition that we've dropped the first game. I think the last time that someone won it and won it 6 out of 6 was back in 2017. So it's not an unusual situation, and dropping one against South Africa is not unusual. So the challenge for us is pretty simple. We just got to get. We just really want to get excited about our prep, making sure we play our game. And said last week there was enough growth in our game last week for us to know we're in the right direction, but we just got to keep making those steps, and the challenge doesn't get any easier.
And you made four changes. Were you tempted to consider more, or were you determined to kind of give these guys another chance mostly?
Oh, as a group of selectors, with Joe and I, and then the coaches, we went through the same process we'd normally do at selection time. What do we think where the group's at? We felt both Tyrell and Ethan are in a really good position. I think particularly Ethan coming in, and it's a great opportunity for him to switch from that bench, a strong scrummager, and so excited by that. Shannon, I thought, having his experience, but also, he looked ready to go off the bench, and Richie's trained really, really well and contributed massively behind the scenes, and particularly just a chance to switch those two around. So they were the ones that we went with. Did we consider others? Of course we did, but that's where we got to. Well, not necessarily. It's like I said, he's prepared well, trained well. Him and Bodie have been massive behind the scenes anyway, in terms of really working hard on the things that we want to achieve, and I'm sure he'll bring his own little flavour to it. But no, it's a matter of getting the balance between our kick, pass, run. We know that, but clearly last week we didn't get any field position early, and that really dampened us. So we just got to make sure we try to get some of that early against a team that kicks out of that space very well.
Yeah, so you were looking at Scott Barrett at number 6 earlier in the year and talked about maybe getting a few more opportunities there. Is that still on the table?
Yeah, definitely. It's but I think it's a bit of a cauldron over here, isn't it? We've got 2 big tests, and their driving play and their forward pack's a big part of their game, and we just feel that Scott is better suited for us right now in the engine room. Clearly Brodie's not here, and so it's certainly that plan's on ice.
Is it on ice until Brodie comes back?
Potentially.
Ian, there were sort of slight clouds over Joy, Bowden and Will this week. Were there any late calls there, or were they all good to go, obviously?
Yep, all good to go. Will is he's been whacked by a bit of a stomach bug, so he hasn't trained much, but he's done a lot of work behind the scenes. He'll get through a significant part of training today, and we'll just keep putting stuff in his mouth to get his energy right. But no, he's looking good.
Joy's ankles all fine and him up?
Yep. Pardon? Who's that? Yeah, most likely.
And what's persuaded you to stick with the midfield that doesn't appear to have fired this year? What are you seeing that gives you hope that they can find something?
Look, I think sometimes you weigh up selection. You got to look at what are we going to gain if we change. Clearly we've got 2 midfielders at home, and Anton and Jack, and so we really believe that this is a time for growing experience in this particular group, and it's you tread that line, don't you, at selection time? Do you make wholesale changes and inject, or do you take the lessons from it? And I think, I've said that this group is still evolving. These experiences are absolutely gold for us. We don't like not winning, but the reality is we're getting some clear markers against a very good team, and I think I just trust the lessons that we take and put the onus back on us as a group to make sure that we accept those lessons, learn them, and just keep growing our awareness of the game. So that's what we're banking on.
Their pubs 6 going to Ellis Park, the mecca of South African rugby, hugely intimidating atmosphere. What's that challenge like?
Look, I think it's... Look, I know everyone keeps putting those stats up, but we're not in that space really. We're in a space that we've and I think every sporting team's like that. When you look at the championship we're currently in, we've dropped the first one, and we've just got to make sure we grow and take our opportunities. And so, there's no good us lingering on the past. We know we've got some development as a team that we're currently going through. I guess the growth is always hurting, but at the same time we just got to make sure that our goal is to get improve. So doing it at Ellis Park is going to be cool. It's a very clear opportunity. The first test this year were always going to be massive for this group, and so we can't shirk away or worry about what's happened in the past. We've just got to go out there and respond the way that we know we need to.
And you've got 3 props in 23 that were in the July series, 2 of them starting. What have you seen from them over the last couple of months to get them to that point where they can play the Box at Ellis Park?
Yeah, well, first of all, 2 of the July ones are injured, so that makes your arithmetic pretty simple. So it's a great opportunity for some younger props to have a chance at this level. And, I'd put Ethan in there. I'd certainly put Fletcher Newell in that camp. He's come in, trained really, really well, impressed us, and so we really feel it's a great opportunity for him. And it's an area that we want to grow in terms of our depth and options anyway. So what better place to do it?
There's been some fantastic games between these sides on the half belt in the last 10 years or so, and fast drive pitch. Is Ellis Park a ground you guys look forward to playing on?
Yeah, yep, very much so. And I think it's probably because South Africa look forward to playing on it too, and so you have to go in there with that sort of mindset. And when you go to the high val, there's generally there's a lot of running involved early. South Africa like to move you around and play that sort of game. We saw it last week in that first half. They really like to play a lot of multi-phases against you and put you under pressure. But the flip side of it is it challenges your fitness. But there have been some classic games, and here's hoping Saturday will be another one.
Have you received any clarity on the high ball? The way the South Africans challenge you expressed some concerns about that earlier in the week, and just how much is on you to be better in that area as well?
Well, we're always looking to own our area first, and so we've got to look at how we catch, and that's been a big focus. We've got people who are good at that, and we just got to keep backing that confidence and that skill set. We've got we've gone back and forth a number of times about people running fast and jumping and hitting you before the ball's even coming down, and we've got some pretty good clarity on that there's at least one other situation in that game that perhaps we should have been rewarded. So but we're pretty clear.
Are you surprised that Malcolm Marks has been moved to the bench for this game after his performance last week?
Well, not really. It's where he's always been played the last couple of years. So they promoted him for his 50th, so back to the normal formula. Jeepers. Do I have to go through that whole thing again? Having so much fun too.
And how have you personally handled the pressure and the noise this week?
Well, I think I've already answered that. You asked me about the team, and I'm part of the team. We're just focused on this week.
From a personal perspective?
Oh, I think I just answered that. I'm part of the team, and that's our team mindset.
Was there any more emotion announced into his team in terms of difficult five-game start to the season?
You'd have to clarify that so I understand the question properly.
So you've gone through a pretty tough period.
Yep.
3 games against Ireland, 2 against Springboks. One of the toughest starts in all that tenure and start of a year in a long time. I mean, knowing that you're sort of through probably the hardest part of it now, is there any sort of emotion or sort of anything special about this side?
Not sure we're quite through the hardest part yet. You know, Ellis Park, pretty special. No, I don't think there's any special emotion with the name of the team. It's, you know, we've, you know, look, clearly we've made some changes the last few weeks. We've I think working really hard to bed those in, and so when we look at the squad, we you know, we haven't made wholesale changes, but we've certainly made some pretty critical ones, we think, to add energy. There's also, if you look at our bench, we're pretty happy with what's coming off and what we think is going to be a bit of a game of endurance, and that's a bit of a similar strategy to what the South Africans use as well. So it's a matter of looking at the 23 a little bit more than just the 15. So no, it's, look, there's a lot of people who aren't playing that, you know, you could argue deserve a right to play because they've been training hard, preparing well, but you know, like it hasn't been a start of a year that it's up to rotate a lot. It's about growing the experiences, and that's what we're doing.
Ian, you said at the start of the week, you said maybe something special could be brewing. Sam the other day said he felt you were really close, you know, to kind of cracking. Does the week, position you're in now, do you feel equally as optimistic? Do you feel something could change for you guys?
Look, I've certainly seen and felt the team grow. You know, through a bit of adversity, you get your character tested, and but you know, the key is when things don't go your own way, it's not to go and sit there and sulk and go, woe is me. You know, it's about to be really clear about the challenge in front of us, because that's international sport, isn't it? And we've just got to. We're really clear about focusing. We're excited about the challenge. We've got that clear in our mind, but we also know that, you know, that you've got to take small steps when you're growing and making some changes, and we've just got to keep those steps growing.
An environment for General to potentially make his debut. How's he been this week, and maybe the past couple of weeks since his first come into camp? But certainly since you told him he'd be on the bench, how's he been, and how's he adjusted to the All Black environment?
Yeah, well, I think the fact he's come in, jumped on a plane, come here, trained really well last week. He's impressed with his demeanour and how he's gone about his work, and that's earned him the right to be considered, I guess. And so the fact he's in there reflects what he's done the last 2 weeks. How he's feeling, he's not the easiest guy to pick, really. Like in terms of pick his mood, he's very level. He's but underneath there, he's very excited and should be very proud of what he's done. And I'm sure when he runs around that park, there'll be a few butterflies and stuff. But first scrum, he'll settle into it. But a great opportunity. I think you can talk about an athlete and talk about their potential, but you know, right here and now, he's in a great spot to start with the All Blacks.
Or him?
What do you make of the inclusion of Grace in the top team?
A bit like Malcolm Marx going to the bench, you know, it's back to their formula, isn't it? You know, he's a quality player, and I'm sure the intentions always were to get him back in there. They got a great 1-2 punch with their number 8, so whichever way round it was going to be a challenge. But look, he's, you know, we've got great respect for Dwayne. He's a great rugby player, and so it's so again, it just